Hello, welcome again to another installment of Dwayne Allen Guitar Concepts. This is another lesson in the intermediate category. I'm going to use this category, like I mentioned before, for basically like beginning jazz and some blues rock stuff as well. I might throw in some acoustic stuff too, but one of the things that I enjoy helping my students with is someone who's into blues, rock, pop, whatever, and they want to start getting into jazz. And I love helping someone transition over to that. Since I'm primarily a jazz guitar player, although I play lots of blues and rock too, I like to help students make that transition. So this is one of those lessons that's going to help you do that, okay? So when a blues guitar player or you know, pop, rock guitar player, when they play the blues, there's many different ways of doing it. There's lots of riffs and open chord things, like when you go, right? Or you might do a riff like a, right? There's all kinds of different kinds of ways to play blues progressions. I want to show you one today that's real basic, but it's using chords, okay? And this is going to be just the blues progression using chords. And there's a million places on the internet to learn this, so this is just my interpretation of the same thing that everybody else teaches. But this is what you should learn if you want to start getting into learning how to improvise over jazz. Because when I teach my jazz students or my blues rock students how to get into improvising over jazz, I always start with learning how to do it over a blues, because the blues is the foundation of jazz, okay? So we're going to do a basic blues progression in the key of B flat. I did a video recently on shell voicings, chord voicings that are called shell voicings. You should definitely watch that and learn those voicings. If you haven't done that yet, I would go back and learn that first, because we're going to use those for this blues progression today. Okay, so we're going to do a basic blues in B flat. Okay, so B flat is a very common key for jazz musicians and blues as well. So we're going to only have to do really two chord voicings, and that's it. B flat 7 and E flat 7. Okay, we're going to do F7 as well, but you're going to see that it's the same thing as E flat. So for B flat, we're going to learn one of the shell voicings in the other video, the dominant 7 one. First finger on B flat, that's the root. Second finger there, third finger there. That's the 6-string version of the dominant 7. It's the shell voicing in the other video. Okay, so B flat 7, and then we're going to do the A string version of the dominant 7 chord, which is this fingering in the other video. E flat 7 is there, so we have B flat 7, we have E flat 7, then eventually we're going to go to F. Same thing as E flat, but it's going to be on the 8th fret. If you don't know the notes in your neck very well, go back and learn that from my other lesson. Okay, so we know that this is a B flat, this is an E flat, this is an F. Okay, so I want to show you guys how to play it Freddie Green style, because if you're going to learn how to comp with jazz, you want to learn Freddie Green style comping. Freddie Green was a great jazz guitarist with the Count Basie Orchestra, and he primarily only played rhythm guitar, and he mostly played shell voicings, and he played all quarter notes. And as a jazz guitarist, this is the first thing you got to learn how to do is Freddie Green comping, okay? So Freddie Green had an incredible sense of time. He was like a human metronome, and the whole entire band was anchored by Freddie Green, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to play 1 bar of B flat 7, 1 bar of E flat 7, and then 2 bars of B flat 7. Okay, then that's going to be followed by 2 bars of E flat 7, and then another 2 bars of B flat 7. Then 1 bar of F, 1 bar of E flat 7, and then 2 bars of B flat 7. Now that's called a 12-bar blues progression. You should be able to find that all over the internet, all over the place. Pretty easy. I'm more concerned with showing you which chord voicings to use, okay? I'm sure most of you know what a 12-bar is, and there's plenty of information out there. But what a lot of students don't get is they'll play B flat 7, E flat 7, and F, but they'll play bad voicings that don't work well together. So I'm trying to give you good voicings that have good voice leading, that sound good. So I'm going to play this Freddie Green style, which means all quarter notes, but they're going to be short and staccato like this. The way to get that short staccato sound is you're pushing down only when you're strumming it like this. Okay? That gives it a strong rhythmic drive. So I'm going to do it slowly for you. B flat, 1, 2, 3, E flat, B flat, 1, 2, 3, 2 bars, 1, 2, now E flat, second bar, now back to B flat, another bar, now F7, E flat 7, B flat 7. Got it? So it's going to go like this. We go over it again, and I'm just going to count, and I'm going to, talk about the measures again. So first measure, B flat. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Now E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat. 2, 3, 4. Second bar, that one. E flat. 2, 3. Another bar. 1, 2, 3. Back to B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Back to F7. One bar, E flat, one bar, E flat, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the simple B flat blues progression using those shell voicings that we learned a while ago. I would learn that like that, okay? If you have trouble switching the chords, maybe you weren't able to keep up with me right there, that's okay. I'm just demonstrating what it sounds like. Now it's up to you to practice. Best thing you can do is practice switching from one chord to the next. This to that. You just kind of go back and forth until you can get comfortable switching. And then once you do, then you just try to play it in time like I just did. Now, you can also play this as a shuffle, like a slow blues. Like let's say you're playing like a B.B. King, Albert King style blues. You could do the same progression, but you wouldn't do the Freddie Green style. You would do more of a shuffle. So a shuffle is going to get this kind of feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's a shuffle feel. Kind of 12/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom, 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 boom. When you're playing a shuffle with a blues drummer, you'll notice they'll play the ride in triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the shuffle feel, okay? And when we play a slow blues, you would do it like that. So we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Got the idea? That's an easy way to do the blues and using the shell voicings. So, you're doing the shuffle feel one way and then the other way is the Freddie Green way. Jazz musicians play blueses too, okay? Now, you should practice doing this in every key, okay? This is the 1, the 4, and the 5 of whatever key you're in. So B flat's the 1, E flat's the 4, F is the 5, right? You should practice it in different keys. C, right? You can do it in the key of G, C, 1, 4, right? I'm sure you guys know 1, 4, 5. It's all over the internet. My main focus of this lesson is not what is a 1, 4, 5, what is a blues. I'm assuming you kind of get that already. I'm just showing you some chord forms that you should learn that work really, really well. Let's do one more. Jazz blues in the key of B flat. A jazz blues is going to have a couple extra chords in there, okay? You're going to have a 2-5-1 progression in here. So in the key of B flat, a 2-5-1 is C minor 7, F7 to B flat, okay? If you don't know what a 2-5-1 is, Try to look it up. I might go over those in another lesson. I don't want to get deep into the theory behind it. I'll just show you how to play it and you learn it, and then we can talk about it later on, or you can learn about it on your own. So we're going to do 1 bar of B flat 7, 1 bar of E flat 7, 2 bars of B flat 7. Okay, just like before. 2 bars of E flat 7, just like before. 2 bars of B flat 7, just like before. Then we're going to do C minor 7, which is in the last video. C minor 7, 8th fret, 8th fret, 8th fret, 6-string version of the minor 7. C minor 7, F7. Then we're going to do B flat 7 for 2 beats. G dominant 7 on the 10th fret of the 5th string for 2 beats. C minor 7 again. F7. That's called a turnaround. That's a little chord sequence that brings you back to the beginning. So the turnaround once again is B flat 7 for 2 beats, G dominant 7 for 2 beats, C minor 7 for 2 beats, F dominant 7 for 2 beats. So this is what it's going to sound like. And this is where I would do more of the Freddie Green, because now we're getting into a jazz blues progression. So the shuffle thing, you might not use it as much as you would the Freddie Green. So you're going to go 1, 2, B flat, no, E flat, B flat, E flat. Back to B flat 7. Now we're going to go to C7. F7, B flat, G, C, F. Let's do it again. B flat 7, E flat 7, E flat 7, E flat 7, B flat 7, C minor 7, F7. B flat 7, G dominant, C minor 7, F. Okay, so that's a B flat jazz blues using those shell voicings that we learned in the other video that you should have gone over. So I like using these voicings because the voice leading is really good with all these voicings. They work well. These 2 notes go down to those 2 notes. We're not going to get into the theory, but they have a nice flow to it, right? And then back here, and then the C minor 7, that voice moves down to this one. And then that's one thing that I notice with a lot of younger beginning guitarists is they'll see a chord progression written out and then they'll play the chords, but they'll play all these terrible voicings that don't work well together. So like I said, the point of this video is not to teach you what a 1-4-5 is and all that. You can learn that on your own. I wanted you to learn these voicings because these voicings will work very well, okay? And once again, with this jazz blues, you should learn in all keys, or at least your basic keys, G, C, F, B flat, that kind of thing. So you can do it in G. Right, you do the whole thing there, you can do the whole thing in C. This is what I would teach any of my students that wants to start getting into improvising over jazz. The first #1 job at any guitar player is to play good rhythm, right? So if you can't play the rhythm of a blues, the chords, then you're not really ready to solo over it yet. So learn how to do the basic blues with these voicings and then the jazz blues with these voicings. And if you know that, many classic jazz tunes are actually just blueses. Okay, it's just a different melody over the blues progression. So if you know that progression, you can play in any key, you're really set. That's a lot of jazz tunes right there. And then when we talk about improvising over a jazz blues, I'm going to use these as a background. So if you know those, then you're ready to go for the soloing. All right. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you like the lesson, please hit subscribe. If you're interested in studying with me privately, I'd love to work with you. Hit me up. All right. Great to see you again. Have a great day and practice up.